Welcome back, Fantasy Moto fans, to another episode of RotoX, the only weekly video series made specifically to help you with your Pulp MX fantasy picks. My name is Donnie, and this week we are headed to the Lone Star State of Texas, home of the Cowboys, and the largest ego and video screen in the world. This is the second Triple Crown of the 2020 season and the only one for the 250 East guys. As always, I have 5 riders to look at this weekend and who you should be taking for your FFLs. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the stats from last week in Tampa. Attendance was down this week, but not by a large margin, with 5,654 paid players setting their lineup for Week 7. Every All-Star made the main, with 10 of them scoring that perfect 26. Of the remaining 28 riders eligible for double points, a staggering 24 of them scored double. 3 guys in the 250s missing out, leaving Aaron Plessinger, the sole 450 guy in the main, to miss double points. A perfect team this weekend would have netted 295, 325 if you managed to nail both FFLs, but nobody did. It seems just about everyone had a great week, as the median championship league score was 243. Score higher than that, and you are doing better than half the field. 42% of picks missed the main this week, led by Big Rig Benny Bloss, who did not even line up for his heat after going over the bars hard in the final qualifying session. Unfortunately, for almost 10% of players, Benny and his team stayed silent about it until after the gates dropped. 2019 Amateur Horizon Award winner and factory Husqvarna rider Jalik Swole came up just short in the LCQ, but luckily that only bit about 3% of people when Isaac Teasdale passed him at the line. Not a good look for Jalik, and definitely not a good look for Rockstar after, if you remember last year, Big Air Tom also had a very disappointing 250 East season as a rookie. Unfortunately, there was a heartbreaker in the 250 class as rookie Brian Moreau crashed hard in practice. He never even made it to qualifying. Brian is still in the hospital, and his prognosis of his injury is rather serious. Best wishes to Brian, his family, and his future in the sport. My team for the week looked something like this. I managed to blow both All-Stars, losing a combined 9 points there. The rest of the team was almost stellar though, save for Osborne, wrecking himself out in the first lap again while running top 5, and having to claw his way back to double points. No FFLs for me last week, so I finished with 268. The top spot for the week in our RotoX League goes to Megan Bojanic with 295. Great score for Megan after starting the season with 2 back-to-back abysmal finishes. Enamel still has a stranglehold on the rest of the league, 34 points ahead of second place. There are only 15 players in the league even close, even within 100 points of Enamel. All right, enough about the past. Let's get to Arlington. But before we get to the riders, please take one of the next 10 seconds to like the video and follow RotoX Fantasy on YouTube if you're new. It really, really helps bring visibility to a channel. And come on, man, it only takes like 2 seconds. Looking at the AllStar Changes this week, Blake Baggett loses his All-Star status to Justin Brayton after a DNS in the main. Word on the street is that Blake's heat crash caught up to him and he suffered whiplash. Joey Crown takes Jimmy D's spot after his amazing 8th place ride in what is his first main event ever. Jimmy barely missed keeping that spot, finishing just 1 spot behind Joey in 9th. All right, the first rider I want to look at is your 250 All-Star. Jordan Smith was not as fast as I think a lot of people were expecting after scoring that Pro Circuit ride. But with a 4 handicap, a top 5 with 10-minute mains should be no problem. Jordan has been top 5 in all but one of his previous 10 races, with most of them being podiums. He had a great start at Tampa before falling off the pace a bit. There is some grumblings that Jordan may not be 100%, but if that's true, or if it's just a fitness issue for some reason, the Triple Crown format should really help him here. Another guy that was on my Tampa team that I can't pick, John Short, still has a ton of value at a 6. The Man Luck Honda rider started 8th and was running 11th when he had a mid-race tip over, eventually finishing 15th. He gets good starts, and he is a gritty rider that will never quit. John has top 10 potential and could very easily be the highest scorer of the week in Arlington. The third and final 250 guy I want to talk to you about is Justin Starling, and to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm recommending you pick him here or if I'm recommending you stay away from him. Starling is 100% a top 17 guy. Hell, he might even be a shoe-in top 10 guy. He has 3 top 10s in his last 5 races. But Justin has admitted on social media to nursing an injury, and after experiencing pain during press day at Tampa, he was fully prepared to take this weekend off altogether. But he rode practice, he rode qualifying, he felt good, he raced straight out of the heat into the main, where he finished a disappointing 20th. But Starling has sneaky value here, and if he's filling up for it, he could be a huge score. But personally, I think I'm going to skip him and hope that his handicap stays right around that 7 mark and that he's back to 100% in Atlanta. It could be your gamble this week, whether you take him or not. Moving on to the 450s, Justin Brayton. Justin Brayton. He's an 8. He's a starter. He's a racer. He's on one of the best factory bikes in the pits. He loves Triple Crowns. I don't think I have to really say much here. Last week was his only finish outside of the top 9 this season, and his best finish of 6th came at the last Triple Crown round. Justin Brayton, 8 handicap, Honda HRC, do it. The 5th and final rider we are going to cover is Ben LeMay. The Alaskan Assassin will make his 2020 debut with that Chaparral Honda team, filling in for Chris Blose in the 450 and what looks to be for the rest of the season. What better week for him to enter the fray? His 11 handicap is extremely generous, and you don't even have to gamble on wondering if he's going to make the main or not. We're going to know ahead of time. His fitness could be a bit of a question, as he's obviously not up to the race pace of the rest of the field that have been racing the past 7 rounds, but an 11 is easy points for a guy that finished in the top 15 in half of his starts last season. You should already know how FFLs work, but just as a reminder, for the Triple Crown rounds, you get 3 chances per class, so there's no better time to gamble. If you get 1 FFL right, you get 15 points. If you get all 3 right, you still only get 15 points. So it doesn't matter how many times your guy gets it right. You just need to make sure your guy gets one of them right. The Arlington track map features almost an entire lap before the finish line, so it's not a good look for those Vince Freezy type guys that get out front early but then fall before the lap is over. I feel like Sugar Shane McElrath is your obvious pick here. He was dominant in both his heat and the main last week, and everyone knows that Star Yamaha bike is money. Well, everybody except for Steven Kiefer anyway. 450s, I think the money is still on Roxon. He has more hole shots and FFLs than anyone else in the class, but if for some reason you're the kind of guy that likes to ride the wave of momentum, definitely give a glance at AC. He has been up or near the front in every race the last few weeks. As of Thursday morning, my team looks like this. Obviously, knowing who is in the main ahead of time, this could change very quickly, and with some big handicaps getting in. Sugar, Shane, and Bray 10 are going to be my all-stars. I have Jace, Enzo, and Cedric for my 250 quad. 2 triple-digit numbers. Go ahead and kill me now. Depending on the prognosis of his whiplash, I think Breaker's dad at a 0 is pretty enticing. AP returns from his worst finish of the year with a lot of value at that 3 handicap. And of course, Ben LeMay's 11 is a lock for me on my team. I will also be looking at locking in Shane and Kenny for my FFLs. If you have a chance between watching this and the gates dropping, please go take a look at the pulpmxfantasy.com website. A lot of user interface updates have been made, including the ability to filter out riders that are not even riding this weekend. Yeah, so after qualifying, when you go make your picks, after you look at our cheat sheet, of course, you can click a little button and it will literally hide all of the riders that are not even riding this weekend. I'm not sure how it's going to work for Triple Crowns, but definitely test out that feature for me. Marks is making your job so much easier. I'd like to think I'm making your guys' job so much easier. We are giving you all the tools. Now they are just up to you to utilize. A few parting notes before we go. Make sure your entire team is riding the night show. No zeros this weekend. No excuse for any zeros this weekend. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram so that you get up-to-the-minute updates on injuries, qualifying results, anything like that. There was also some weird timeline this weekend, as race day will go live at 1:30 Eastern Time, 10:30 in the morning for you West Coast folk. The LCQs are going to be broadcast live with the Gold Pass at roughly 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific, with the cheat sheet to follow soon after. And the Triple Crown mains will begin at 8:30 Eastern Time, 5:30 Pacific. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, let me know in the comments if you prefer the format of having both the review and preview shoe in the same video like I did in this one. It really cuts down on my filming time, and honestly, the reception of the feedback episodes just weren't what I was hoping for, and I think I would rather take that time and use it to make something else for you guys. I'm not sure what, but we'll get there. Good luck Saturday. May your chiz is chiz, your Jerry's not always Jerry. 8 in the main, first to the corner, Godspeed and good picking. Take care, guys.